Okay, today's video, I thought I would just kind of shop my stash and talk about some products that I used to wear, used to love, but I really haven't worn lately because as I find something new, which RMS had been my new favorite brand for the last 2 months, yeah, I tend to just wear the same things over and over again. So I did dig through some of my old favorites. That's what we're going to talk about today. I am still testing out some couple of skincare products that I have been enjoying, and I am putting together my skincare video, which I'm trying to make it not as much about the products and more about the ingredients, so you can find something similar if you didn't want to buy the exact brands that I am using. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm using an oldie for my primer, and it is the Revlon Colostay Prep and Protect. It does have an SPF in it. So I have not put on SPF today, though I think it's good to layer because this little bit of SPF really isn't enough to do a full coverage. I'm not really going to get the SPF 34 with just a thin layer, which a lot of people will say, well, I have SPF in my foundation, but you're probably not actually getting SPF, whatever, 15, 30, 20 by the small amount that you're actually applying, right? Because they say with sunscreen to get the correct amount, you need like a quarter teaspoon or half a teaspoon amount, or maybe it's even a teaspoon. I can't even remember now, but you're not going to put a teaspoon of foundation on your face. Also, before I put my foundation on, I am testing out this product from Dermatology. You know how much I love Dermatology. This is their new Luminous Eye Corrector SPF 41. And you're supposed to do half a pump. So I'll be talking about this in more detail. It is a corrector, not a concealer. But it does have that SPF. It is very soothing, you know, these metal tip applicators. Yeah, they just soothe the skin. So this color is tan, which is not that tan. So these are different shades of peach, right? So it's not going to actually be brown, to kind of counteract the purplish tones. But also apply SPF to the delicate areas where you might not normally put your SPF, formulated for around the eyes instead of avoid eye area. What I have noticed when I would apply it with the brush is it kind of took off all the correcting properties. So I do kind of pat it in just continuously with the cool applicator till it absorbs down. It leaves more of the pigment on my skin. Even if I'm slouching, I have such terrible posture. Even if I use my fingers, I'd be lifting up a lot of it. So I tend to get it down almost fully absorbed. And then at the end, I will just take my fingers and press the rest in. Okay, I don't really have a lot of purple circles, so it's hard for people to tell if it has done anything, but the tan color I think is light for me. I mean, like a good lightness for me. I tried the medium and it was like way too bright. So if you have light skin, I would do medium. If you have really fair skin, I would do their, what is it called? Their fair. If you have my color skin, which is medium, I would do tan. I haven't even looked to see if they have a darker shades than tan. My skin is now prepped and ready to go. So I dug through, I have not used this in a while. The concealer that I am going to use is a Wet n Wild Incognito. This was one of my favorite long-lasting, full coverage concealers when I started my channel. And I'm just going to put a little bit. Back then, you know, we were putting large swaths of concealer, which we don't need now. I'm also testing out a bunch of Refer brushes. They sent me a couple of promotional samples, and then they sent me some that have like new numbers, like B01. So I don't know if this is being manufactured. This one is a round, short, stiff brush, but at a slight angle. So good for stippling. Which, of course, if you do have dark circles that you are trying to hide, stippling instead of swiping your foundation or concealer is the best way to keep the pigment over those areas, and even letting it set down for a minute or two to kind of thicken up to leave more of the pigment on the surface. Okay, that looks good. The next product I'm going to use, this was, I think I liked this in the fall. Whenever this came out, I really liked it. It's the Makeup by Mario foundation. It's kind of almost a glowy foundation. Surreal Skin is what it's called. And my shade is 15N right now. In the summer, it's actually 13W, which is kind of funny that the numbers go down when my skin gets darker. But 15N works for me. It almost has these little pearls. You can see luminescence. And so it is a glowier foundation, but on me, it's not too bad. So it's not, I like the glow. It's a glow I like. It's a little bit less than the RMS, but I really like it. So I did get a promotional brush from Refer. It's a prototype. I've been asking them, to make some foundation brushes. I did like this one. I did ask for a similar shape because it's similar to the BK Beauty brush I like. A little bit smaller, and the bristles are a little more flexible. So I liked that. I also really wanted a paddle brush, but they did not send me a sample for a paddle brush. With all these tinted moisturizers, I think paddle brushes are really good. But anyway, because this is a little more flexible, like you can see it bends all the way down. Let's see how it works. This is my first time using this brush. Well, it feels good. It definitely leaves a lot of the foundation on my skin. Probably more so than I would want. So if you had a really lightweight foundation, this actually might be good. This is a medium coverage foundation, and it's, again, leaving a lot of pigment on my skin. I'm just going to use my fingers because I think fingers do a great job at pulling off that excess pigment. And then I'll take my sponge, my Stands Out Beauty Sponge. I know, there's so many other kind of sponges. I just like the Stands Out. And I like it, you use it dry so I don't have to run to the bathroom. I can just grab it from my table and use it. Okay, so that's a really nice amount of coverage. I feel like I should have put a moisturizer underneath this. This Prep and Protect did not give me the moisture level that I need for under a medium coverage foundation. Okay, so now I'm going to try just putting the foundation on the brush this way as opposed to tapping it on my face. And yeah, so that is a much lighter coverage. I like that a lot better. So the key for me is to just put a little bit on the brush so it doesn't go on too heavy. Yeah, because now it's blending in really nice. Yeah, it almost is the same without even doing the pressing in. They'll press it in. All right, so I like this brush. Definitely with the heavier foundation, it's going to spread it, but not necessarily lift off as much, which might be what you need. So I need to make sure I put less on my skin. All right, the next thing I'm going to use, gosh, I haven't used this in a hot minute. This used to be the only contour that I could find that I liked, that matched my undertones, which is a neutral leaning warm in the summer. And this is the Essence Contour Duo Palette in Deep. So this is not orangey at all. And I know kind of contouring is going out, but they gave me another brush that I wanted to try. This is kind of a big brush for contour. They're BO2. I don't know if this one's going to come out, but I did want to try it. So, yeah. So I always use the dark side. In the last 2 years, they did come out with a lot of other bronzers and things like that. that worked with my skin tone, but for a long time, this was the only one kind of for that cut look. It's super pigmented. And this brush holds a lot of pigment. I even tapped it off on my towel. But I want to get all of it off now because that's enough product. I don't want to be blending the product or adding more product. I just kind of want to blend what I've stuck on my face. Give me some semblance of a cheekbone. Yeah, so Essence, I don't know where else you can buy it. I mean, you can buy it at Ulta. That's kind of the only place that I ever really see that brand. And again, here in the US. Okay, this is a really good stiff brush. I feel like it does a great job at lifting and blending. So I'm not sure if the BO2, if this is going to be a foundation brush too, but I feel like it's very nice. All right, should I do eyeshadow or my blush? I'm going to do eyeshadow. Pulled out an oldie but goodie. I used to love Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows. I mean, it's all that I wore. I am going to I did not grab a different powder. I'm just going to use my Wayne Goss, which is right here, the Weightless powder, because it's so lightweight. I'm going to powder my eyelids. What brush am I going to use? Oh, here's another promotional brush. It's kind of like a mini, it's almost like a concealer brush, a soft concealer brush. Similar angles to that foundation one. Yeah, this is a promotional one. Oh my goodness. No, that's not. I was like excited. I was like, oh, it has my initials on it, but it doesn't because LC would be my maiden name. And I'm an LS now. After 27 years, you would think I would remember my initials are LS, not LC. Okay, put the tiniest amount, tap it off, and I'm just going to brush it over my eyelids. The reason being, I don't want the eyeshadow to stick and get a dark spot because I have that sunscreen on. Let's see. All right, people, I haven't done videos like this in so long. I haven't had to clip my hair. But let's clip it for right now. Check the time. I have a contractor coming in about 30 minutes to go over my kitchen cabinets and my trim work. So I want to be there. Okay, so this is the Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. I know that you have it on Charlotte Tilbury and they still have it on Sephora. Maybe I'll use one of the new ones, even though I don't know what it's for. This is the BO3, which, again, I don't know if it's out yet. So I'm just going to take these three shades are the ones I'm going to use, and I'm going to just take the lightest shade, lots of pigment, start in the center, and then move it to the very pretty on my skin tone. It really is a perfect like nude, neutral base. So I can take it all the way up on my orbital bone. I need to pluck my eyebrows, so hopefully you can't see how terrible they're looking. They always need to be plucked though. But again, it's just added a base layer, kind of that nice neutral transition color. What do I want to take? I'm going to take the number 14 Max. So they've come out with new brushes. Here's a 14 mini, and here's a 14 Max. Here it is. Here's the 14 regular, though one's really old. So these are the different number 14s. And they're made for hooded eyes, but I'm going to use the 14 Max. They're made for hooded eyes because they're a little bit smaller. I'm going to go in with this deeper color right here and raising my eyes a little bit, but still putting it right up on the orbital bone, not in the crease. I'm going to tap on the color and then put it on the outer third. Tapping to deposit the color. And then I'll do the same on the other eye, and then I'll go back in and blend. Okay, wiping off all the excess because I don't want to put any more product on. I just want to blend. I haven't done this. I mean, I am such a one and done gal that I have not actually used multiple colors in a long time, but we're playing today. Swish, 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 and then circle. And if you know, I have a black black hand towel laying in front of me, so anytime I need to wipe off extra, clean my brushes, anything like that, you know, I've got this handy dandy towel, right? Good. Go in with the darker shade. I'm just going to use this BK Beauty one. This is their 204. It's a good little tiny smudger brush, and put it in the darkest shade right here and do a little smudging. Use it for my eyeliner. It looks like I have eyeliner on because I use the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal Barbarella Brown. It doesn't come off. I mean, that's yesterday's eyeliner still there, which is good because then it's a base for just the powder to sit on. Okay, brows. I'm going to use the Maybelline Ultra Slim Brow Pencil. Brush them up. Fill in my little bald spot right here. I'm sure if I went to have my eyebrows shaped, I don't think I've had them shaped or waxed in, gosh, since I started using tretinoin or Retin-A. And then I had a whole year that I didn't use it. I am using it again, but I had a whole year where I didn't use it. That would have been great to go in and get my brows shaped, but then I moved. And I mean, I have pretty good natural brow shape. I just need it to be cleaned up. All right, now kind of blend that in, kind of brushing it back and forth with the spoolie. I don't really like my brows to look so dark. I almost like them not filled. And then I had the little wow brow. Oh yeah, right here, the little elf wow brow. I just kind of get them to hold into place. This is a brown, so it's not going to really color them. Definitely don't need them up. I don't want them thick, too thick. Okay. Here's my brows. Use my Refer. Oh, this is the 18R. I like the 20R, but for some reason I've got the 18R in front of me. The 18R is a little bit higher in the center. It's good for round eyes. The 20R is flatter and just slightly longer, which is good for my, you know, flatter eyes. Now we'll do the blush. Dug into, I'm gonna take this down. Oh, let me do my mascara. This is not an oldie but goodie. This is a new one that I've been liking. It's that Thrive tubing mascara. People have told me how wonderful it is. I didn't like tubing mascaras. I still don't like all tubing mascaras because I've tried some other ones. But this one does come off fairly easy with water. And I don't find that I have flakes. It's the next day all over my face. Which is what other tubing mascaras, they seem to come off easy in water, but they still must have left some of the product on my lashes or somewhere. And the next day, I would get little black dots. And I mean, obviously, if I used a eye makeup remover and really concentrated on my eyes, I could avoid all that, but I don't do that. So anyways, I'm going to put a little bit on my lower lashes. I haven't done that in a hot minute. I used to always put them on my lower lashes. Okay, let me take my bangs down so they don't get ruined. All right. The blush, Kiss of Rose, is Bare Minerals Blonzer. I'm just going to use this one. Then this is another BK Beauty. It's that Nikki Rose. This is their N15. Because my face brushes are all over on my makeup. So all of these products kind of have this little bit of shimmer. And I kind of feel like that's what Charlotte Tilbury was always so good with. It just that little bit of shimmer, so it's not flat, but it was never too sparkly or anything like that. This one's a little bit more sparkly. Can't help but want to put just a little bit on my eyes. I always do that with my blush. Okay, so, oh, lips. All right, so I'm going to use a Merit. This is their Millenial. Nice, pretty neutral color. Again, I have a lot of pigment on my lips, so sometimes the color is so beautiful on the bullet and not so good when it gets on my lips. So it definitely looks a little, here's the color. It definitely has that little bit of rose undertone to it, even though it's quite neutral looking. And then another oldie but goodie, the Charlotte Tilbury Ibiza Nights, but it's their little lip gloss. I don't know what, it's their tiny little lip gloss. It just adds a little bit more shimmer. This was my favorite little lip gloss for years and years and years before I had my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm feeling very glowy, so I'm going to take my little puff. This is the Wayne Goss puff that you can buy with, or maybe it comes with some sets with his Weightless powder. And I'm going to tap the edge. I feel like I need to blend that upper edge of blush. Brush my hair. Oh, I'm going to have to curl my hair. So I had my hair cut this month, and you know, I love going to new hairdressers, but there is a learning curve. So she did exactly what I wanted. It's just too long. So I wanted these layers right here to be right up here. And this is usually when they're about this length is when I would go to get it cut again. So I took a picture of it because this is perfect. It's just a little too long. I just want it, you know, about, what is that? An inch shorter, inch and a quarter shorter. And then it would be the perfect style, and I wouldn't need to use a curling iron on it. I could just wash and wear. Do I have everything on? Sometimes I forget to put something on. Oh, you know what? I can see, I don't know if you can see my little lip lines there because they've gotten deeper. So I am going to use my Miracle Blur. And they actually say to use it over your makeup, so it's not too late. Every day I notice a new line, dent, something, but yeah, very subtle. But now I'm not fixated on those lines. Okay, that's it. This is my face makeup using different products, but overall the effect is the exact same as I do my makeup every day for the daytime. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this little get ready with me. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.